Okay, so this is another Primus song review. They just dropped the latest single just 3 days ago. This is going to be a whole lot shorter than the first one is. I'm not going to talk about dead dogs and wrecked cars and the future of the channel. Although I will say that I have been making working on some new videos. I have a Patreon video I made. Somebody went for one of the rewards. I'm making the video for him. By the way, that's something you can do. Visit my Patreon. Give me $7. I'll review an album for you. Just had to shill that a little bit there. Just gonna get that out of the way. But the new Primus song, it's pretty good. It's a little bit more like what we've come to know from Primus, especially recent Primus, like Green Naugahyde and like their interpretations of the Willy Wonka album, which, as I've said, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Willy Wonka album, but the music was solid. It was just, I felt like it shouldn't have been a whole album. But this is very much along the lines of what we've come to know from Primus ever since they got back together and did the Animals Should Not Try to Act Like People, you know. For me, there's a clean break between Anti-Pop and Animals Should Not Try to Act Like People in sound, where, you know, it's like they dropped that, they went away, and they came back, and all the stuff they've done since they came back has been very different, but also kind of the same. You know, the Animals EP, Green Naugahyde, the Willy Wonka album, this. I think a part of it is that Claypool's voice has changed. I think he sings in he sings in a lower register now than he did. I mean, as people do as they get older. And so that's a change. But yeah, it's just a really good Primus song, although it is a concept album, so I'm wondering if the songs will be stronger in the context of the overall album, which they probably will be. That's usually how concept albums go. And so trying to evaluate them like piecemeal, like the way I'm doing right now, is maybe not the greatest idea. Other than that, I don't really have a enormous number of observations to make. The bass line is fantastic, like pretty much all Primus bass lines are. The drumming was good. The guitar was doing really interesting things off to the side. It felt almost like, even though the bass was center stage, it feels like the guitar was doing a more conventional sort of lead guitar thing than Primus sometimes do. You know, there's a lot of, like, the guitar just lurking around in the background making weird noises in Primus. It's just always been something I love. I think the Police are the other band that really did that a lot, where, you know, Andy Summers was in the background of their music while Sting and Stuart Copeland were just hogging the show, which I've got to do a video on the Police someday, because they're such a great band, but Sting and his people in cars playing Rob Zombie obnoxiously loud right outside my window. Sting and his Sting, as I saw it on a Rate Your Music review once, Sting and his obnoxious stinginess poisoned the well for so many people with the Police, and it is so true. Great band, though. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the new Primus song. I'm sorry it wasn't very long, but I really don't have an enormous amount to say about this. I will when the album comes out, so wait and watch the video then.